Now, it may be that you're physically looking at plots, so in this video, I'm going to give you 6 key things that you need to be looking out for when you're actually at the plot. And don't forget, in all of this, we're looking for a sweet point between a number of different constraints. There's your budget, there's your lifestyle preferences, there's the planning regulations, and there's the physical characteristics of the plot. So let's jump into my 6 key points. Hello and welcome to the channel, and if you're new here, my name's John Wolfendale and I'm the founder and CEO of Vida Homes. If you're thinking of building a villa in Spain, it might look like a complex and daunting prospect, and we turn that into a simple process to make things easy for you. So if you need some help, contact me through the website icavidahomes.com. First up is the views, and you already know that, but just bear in mind it's not just the views, but how we design the villa to make the best of the views, bearing in mind your lifestyle preferences. Point number 2 is the topography, and there are 3 sub-points under topography, the first one being aspect and orientation. Now, it may be that the aspect or the plot is orientated, if you like, in one direction, but the best views are in another direction, so we need to think about that and work out how we're going to use that in the design, bearing in mind your lifestyle preferences. Next sub-point under topography is the gradient, if there is one. And as you can imagine, this can have a big effect on the design and on the costs of the villa. If there's a steep gradient like that, we need to decide, do we build out on stilts, or do we excavate into the mountain, or a bit of both, or indeed, probably better if possible, is to have the design of the villa follow the contours of the gradient, if that's possible. Gradient can have a big effect on the design and on the cost of your villa. Third sub-point under topography is what is the real level from a building license application point of view of the plot. Now, sometimes plots have been filled in, or it's ambiguous about where the actual real level might be, and you might be standing on the plot imagining what it's like to have breakfast in front of those views, when actually the real level of the plot from a building license application perspective is 10 meters underneath where you're standing. So just a caution, that is something we need to look out for when we're looking at a plot. My third point is the boundaries. Are they clearly marked, or are they ambiguous? Now remember that the size of the villa that you can build will depend upon the maximum size, will depend on the square meters that you're buying. And it's quite normal in Spain, as I expect you know, for there to be a different number on each of the formal documents. So the catastral, no nota simple, the escritura, and indeed the estate agent's website, they may all contain a different number. So are the boundaries clearly marked? Is it easy to establish how many square meters you're buying, or do we need a topographer to go around and mark the boundaries and calculate exactly the square meters that you're buying in order to understand the maximum size of the villa that you can build? Which brings me neatly to my fourth point. While you're looking at the boundaries, take a look at the neighbouring properties. Are there any developments likely to happen on the neighbouring properties that may in the future interfere with your views, or in any other way interfere with your enjoyment of the property? My fifth point is access. Take a note of that and imagine how easy might it be, if necessary, to get a crane on the site and to bring up lorries with materials in them. My sixth point is mains services. So while you're there, look out for and make a note of the location of the nearest mains water, electricity and sewerage provision, or let's think about how we can provide those services either partially or entirely off-grid. Otherwise, we're going to have to build in the cost of connecting to those services into the budget. One final piece of advice: take lots of photographs and videos, and why not send yourself the pin drop so that if necessary we can take a look at it for you from the website and give you some initial advice. Now, it may be that it would be interesting for you to know exactly what are the taxes and professional fees associated with building a villa in Spain, in which case you need to watch the next video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video, like it, and I'll see you in the next video.